Welcome back. This is Carlisle Amlak from Mahavidya School of Yoga and from Mahavidya School of Yoga and Ayurveda. Today we're talking about the Sub-dosha of Kapha. In these short informational series, we're giving you just clips of content and theory that are important in the Ayurvedic education. We offer this to our students and any of those that are Ayurvedic enthusiasts. If you're looking to learn more, be sure to sign up for our Principles of Health or longer professional 500-hour training program with our sister school in India. So the Sub-dosha of Kapha, or that which hold things together, are Bodhaka Kapha, Tarpaka Kapha, Sleshaka Kapha, Avlambaka Kapha, and Kledaka Kapha. And we'll be talking about each one of those. Tarpaka Kapha is the ether element, or the most subtle form of Kapha. It's located in the brain. Avlambaka Kapha, connected with the water element, is located in the lungs and chest and heart. Kledaka Kapha, the air element, is located in the GI tract. It's what's moving things and processing them. Sleshaka Kapha, connected with the fire element, is responsible for the joints, lubrication, nourishment to the bones. And Bodhaka Kapha, the earth element, is located in the oral cavity of the mouth. And we will dive into each one. So Kledaka Kapha, or what's located in the stomach, is the protective lining of the stomach that's supporting it from the acids that are being produced by Pachaka Pitta, or that sour, sharp component that's helping to support the fiery aspect of digestion. Kledaka Kapha balances the effect of Samana Vayu, which, because it's located in the GI tract, but connected with the air and ether quality of Vata, it has a tendency to dry out the mucous membranes as it moves through the system. So we need that mucousy part of the stomach lining to protect against acid or dryness. And you'll notice if you're lacking in high quality Kledaka Kapha, that's where irritation can start, or digestive discomfort. It's essentially the liquid medium for cooking food. So if you had a pot of rice you were trying to cook, if there is no water in the rice allowing it to cook evenly, it wouldn't cook properly, it would burn. And this is helping enzymes move around the molecules equally to support balanced molecular digestion. The mucus lining of the pyloric valve has the heavy, stable quality of Kapha. It helps it remain shut after the hot and mobile qualities of Pitta and Vata. And Samana, Vata, and Prana are moving things around, and it's helped keeping it shut so that it's not meeting with the bile to create any irritation. Vitiations include obesity, obsessive eating habits, hyperglycemia, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Bodhaka Kapha, Bodhaka means to make known, and this is located in the mouth or the oral cavity, as I mentioned. It's represented by saliva or any of the moistness that you're noticing in the mouth itself. It's moistening the mucous membranes. It's described by Shashrut in the Shashrut Samhita as being located on the tongue, throat, and palate, protecting these membranes from the heat of food when you're eating and the mechanical action of chewing and irregularities of food. If food is either too rough or too dry or too sharp, it's helping protect the mouth. The 6 salivary glands of the mouth have ducts inside the sides of the cheeks. And without saliva, we wouldn't be able to talk, swallow, taste, or receive food because the mouth and the throat would become very dry. Relating to the idea or its name being to make known, this is where we receive knowledge through the taste of food. When food comes into contact with our taste buds on the tongue, Bodhaka Kapha is responsible for eventually either nourishing us with rasa or giving us the information to understand what the food tastes like. Vitiations include excess saliva or mucus in the mouth and throat, and this is really easy to observe. We do recommend that you do tongue scraping in the morning, and it's a nice time to observe the status of Bodhaka Kapha. So while we don't want a thick layer on the tongue representing ama or undigested toxins, we do want to make sure that the tongue is moist and there's some plumpness to it, some lively energy to it. We don't want it to be too dry. And you can see here, I find this quite interesting, the 6 areas of taste on the tongue. You can see where sweet, pungent, salty, bitter, astringent, and sour is on this side here. And what it's showing you is in excess what's happening with the 6 tastes. And so we want to take the taste in with moderation, always. When we talk about an Ayurvedic diet, you'll see that we're still taking in all of the tastes. The balance might shift. So in the wintertime, we might eat heavier, sweeter foods when we're in a building state, where in the springtime, if we continued eating heavier foods, sweeter foods, saltier foods, it could increase mucus production and make us not feel very good. Similar in the summertime, when it's sharp and hot outside, we want to reduce pungency and sourness in the system, but it's still there. Like, you can still use a little bit of those spices, just less quantity. Avlambaka Kapha is located in the chest, heart, and lungs. It's the kapha protecting the respiratory system and tissues from dryness caused by udana vayu, moving up, the upward air, and if pitta infections are present. So it also includes the spine, as it's supporting the intercostal muscles and the ribs. The liquid quality of Avlambaka Kapha helps with gaseous exchange, removing excess carbon dioxide. It's supporting the pulmonary trunk, so oxygenated blood can move into the heart. And it's also creating the tone to the muscular layer surrounding the lungs and heart. Vitiations include excess grief, sadness, mucus congestion, pulmonary changes, bronchitis, asthma, pneumonia, emphysema, and congestive heart failure. And this is really a major seat of Kapha Dosha. We talk about these sub-dosha as shelters. And if there's an imbalance, it's frequently where the excess dosha will move first. And we will see that people with excess kapha, or that live in kapha-provoking environments or consuming kapha-increasing foods, they'll more frequently have mucus congestion, which is one of the reasons why, if you are experiencing a mucousy cold, you want to cut back on things like grains, dairy, sweets, anything that can provoke more of the building quality of kapha. Tarpaka Kapha, tarpana means to nourish, and this is present in the white matter, the brain. It's the nourishing quality of the brain cells, providing the liquid attributes to the cerebrospinal fluid. So it's protecting the brain and the spinal cord. The sweet and salty tastes that increase kapha often nourish the nerve endings, creating a feeling of balance and overall happiness. It's why sometimes if we feel a little fried, we have a tendency to reach more towards sweet and salty foods. Tarpaka Kapha is responsible for lubrication also of the nasal and sinus cavities. In the spinal cord, it acts like battery solution, creating the medium for a complete circuit of energy. It's very interesting. It is the DNA, so is Tarpaka Kapha, as well as the imprinted psychological memories of our past on both the subconscious and conscious level. Vitiated obstructions, we can see slow nerve impulses, slow response in physical or mental sluggishness, strokes, paralysis, Parkinson's, brain tumors, concussions, and memory loss. There's an overall cloudiness or heaviness then to the processing of the brain itself. Shaka Kapha, so this is another major shelter of kapha, and it's the lubrication of the joints that's protecting against general wear and tear of the body from motion, from Vyana Vayu. So we move. If we don't have proper fluids in the joints, we can then see an increase in Vayu and a decrease in kapha, and that would be Shaka Kapha decreasing. The synovial joint fluid is responsible for smooth motion, joint stability. If it dries up, as I mentioned, it invites more vata into the structural system. So anywhere there is space, vata is going to fill it, or the air and ether quality. So as we dry up any excess kapha, where kapha is needed in some of these spaces for protection, vata can go in, creating roughness, dryness on the bone surfaces, and eventually pain and stiffness. And pain is one of the number one signs of excess vata, where swelling and accumulation, presentation of excess mucus would be a sign of kapha. Vitiations generally present are more of a swollen arthritis. We'll see stiffness, limited motion, pain, and early aging around the joint complexes themselves. So thank you so much for joining us. Again, be sure to subscribe and like our channel. And if you are a student or aspiring student of Ayurveda, reach out if you would like support, and we will see you real soon. Thank you all. Peace.